Good morning. I hope you can see me in this bright sun. It's really intense. With the weather, how it's changed now, spring's on the way, and it's got me thinking, planning ahead for the summer. I fancy some different camping locations. Not all the time, but you know, a few ones that I can do in some really nice weather. So it got me thinking last night. I'd spent a few hours on Google Maps and whatever, and I scouted out possibly a couple of locations that might make an interesting camp. But who knows, when I get there, they might be rubbish. It never looks the same when you're physically boots on the ground as to looking at pictures and maps. But yeah, so a morning of discovery, hopefully, and I thought I'll bring you along. Might interest you, might not, who knows? Who knows what we're going to find? But hopefully some interesting and pretty locations. See you in a bit. Right, the first place I want to check out, this bank here running into the distance. It's actually an ancient cliff. The sea used to come in as far as here. I do like a cliff camp, but the locations that I used to use with the erosion are just too unsafe now. If you're not careful, you'd wake up at the bottom of the cliff rather than the top. And that's if you woke up. So an inland cliff might be worth checking out. It's quite a long stretch. I'll have a wander and see if I can find a suitable place where I could, you know, bivvy the night or whatever. I'll go and look. I've walked a fair bit of it now, and it's a shame the whole area is just too overgrown, really. I suppose you could forge your way in there, but you'd spend half the camp clearing the ground. All bordering the path here, thick brambles. Back the way I've come, I did see one footpath. It's not an official one, because the bit I'm walking on is the only public footpath, but obviously it cuts through to somewhere, so I might just have a quick investigation up there. But I think, sadly, this area is a bust. Like I say, you can look all you like on maps and Google Earth imaging and all this sort of thing. It's never really the same when you're physically there. Always worth checking it out in advance. I would have hated to have packed and actually come on a camp and walked all the way here and then found out it was rubbish. It's terrible. So that's why I'm out today. Bit of preemptive planning. Well, that was a bit of a steep climb. Whew. I don't think it's a path as such. I think it's a track that the sheep have been coming up and down. A lot of sheep poo. But it's just too overgrown, really. Shame, because I'm only about halfway up. This would have been the view. I'm not sure how much you'll see because it's very bright and a bit hazy. But you know, thousands of years ago, that would have been the estuary, and I'm not sure if you can make out the high ground there. That'd have been another cliff there. There would have been nothing but sea in between these 2 points, flowing inland. Shame. Be a nice view on a clear day, really would. Never mind. I'll wander back to the car, which is over in that hedge line there. There's a little lane, I'm over there somewhere, and I'll move on to the next spot and check that one out. Completely different, that one, but like I say, you never know until you get there. Sorry, I'm facing into the sun. Might try and improve that in a bit. Nice big lake here. Just wondered if there's a spot around that. If I pan right round, it's a long way off, but mid-distance you've got these white topped house type things high ground behind it. That's the end of the cliff where I was just now. I was over this way. A couple of miles probably to the left as you're looking. It's a nice area down here. I'm down on the marsh. The only trouble is it's always windy. Not too bad in nice weather. In winter it's bloody horrible. Let's have a wander around. This is the sort of thing I've been looking for. It's obviously one of the spots they use for fishing. Not big, but it's sheltered. The prevailing wind comes in that way, through that thick stuff and over the bank. So I can imagine sitting here with a view across the lake. It's not a long walk either. I don't know whether you'll be able to see, but something shining over there where the car's parked. So I've only had to walk around the corner of the lake to get to this spot. Of course I'd love to get to that island, but I'd need a kayak or something. But no, this isn't bad. Fairly flat too. I can imagine me having the Dutch Army tent maybe in here. Would be pretty cool. Right, back up that little bank onto the path and I'll walk around a bit further. But positive so far. Main lake's to my left, but there is another one over that bank and a little patch of trees there. It's quite well covered. Could go in there if worst comes to the worst. And at least that is the direction that we normally get the prevailing winds coming this towards me from the sort of southwest. So you would get some protection by that bank, which would be nice. God, shut up, you noisy crow. But still plenty more mileage to be done around this big lake. Well, I've done a fair bit of distance now. Haven't found anywhere better than that first spot really. And I've got to the point where it's a little bit far that I'd want to walk with a big bag. Midsummer if I was travelling light, yep, not so bad, but a little bit further than I'd want to be really. And I'm getting closer to the industrial area too. I don't know if you can see, just there, the edge of the sort of industrial business park sort of area. But, it's a lovely spot, it really is, on a day like this. I can imagine it midsummer, really, really nice evening with hopefully no wind. It'll be beautiful here. There's a couple of spots I walked past which I sort of wrote off and didn't really explore properly back through the thicker stuff that way. I'll head back towards the car now and I might just quickly duck into them and have a look. On this little wooded area here, it's probably only 10 or 15 metres across, but it runs right up to the water's edge. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be just too thick and dense to be any good. I'll have a little look-see. There is sort of half a path here as if people have been in before. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty thick in here. Let me squat down, it might give a better view. I suppose if you wanted to do a stealthy one, a bivvy bag on the floor, it would be okay. But it's very restricted in here. There wouldn't be enough room, I think, to really get a tent or anything decent in here. No, it doesn't light my fire that much. Let's come back out. Oh, past some spiky old tree. No, it's just not worth it. I had a glance as I walked past earlier on and thought, well, possibly, but no, not doing that one.